Well, morning for me, I guess. Tasty. Adjust my camera here. It's raining. Hello, good morning. So it's raining. It's raining. Which is awesome. It's only like 74 degrees out. Hey, Marcia, good morning. Well, I don't know if it's morning where you guys are at, but it's definitely morning for me. Still like 9 or 9, like 9:45 or something. And I have a story because I had to file I had to file an insurance claim this morning because my driver's side window got annihilated. And it's currently being held up with packing tape. Close my trunk here. There we go. Less glare on my glasses. Hi, Judy. Good morning. Yeah, so we're getting a beautiful storm here today in the Arizona desert, which is cooling it down really nicely. And tomorrow it's only supposed to be like 78 degrees, which is great. But I kind of got unlucky. I kind of got unlucky because last night I went to my mom's house because my sister's in town from Miami Beach, Florida, and she'll be here. Hi, Sabrina. Good morning. So my sister will be here from Miami Beach for the next couple weeks. So basically until the end of October, which is fun. I haven't seen her in quite a while. You know, we pretty much live on opposite ends of the country. He is asleep. He is sleeping. Winston's a tired boy this morning because so we went to my mom's house last night because my sister got in Thursday night. So I went over there yesterday. We had dinner and did all of those things. And my mom has 2 poodles. So Winston is very tired from hanging out with his grandma and the poodles and seeing his auntie, my sister. But yeah, so I left my mom's house early this morning because my mom and my sister were actually running in a race. And in case y'all didn't know, like I don't run, okay? Like I don't run. No, like running is not for me. So they went to run a race and they were out of the house by like 6 a.m. And my mom's dogs were driving me absolutely nuts this morning because they were barking at everything. My mom decided it would be a smart idea to leave her screen door open this morning so the dogs could see all the people and the dogs walking by, so I didn't get good sleep and I ended up like leaving my mom's house by 7:30 a.m. So I knew it was supposed to rain in Buckeye today where my home base is at. And as I was driving on the highway, like I got some sprinkles, like it sprinkled a little bit, and I have a 45-minute drive back to Buckeye from my mom's house. Charlene, you know what, sister, amen to that. Because if I'm running, yeah, something is absolutely chasing me and you need to save me. Like, you need to save me, okay? For real, sister. So I'm driving, you know, it's 7:30, it's nice out. I have the windows cracked just a little bit because I didn't even need AC this morning, which in the Arizona desert, mid-October, you generally still need AC. So the fact that I was driving home with no AC was like amazing. And even when it was sprinkling a little bit, you know, we get the smell of the rain. Like, if you've never smelled a desert rain before, it is just like glorious. It's glorious, okay? So, you know, Winston's sleeping in the passenger seat. That's where he typically travels. Unless we're on like a really long road trip, he'll move throughout the van, but typically he likes to travel in the passenger seat. So he's just like passed out. He loves the rain. He doesn't mind like the windshield wipers, like thunderstorms and stuff. Winston is like, it's no big deal. So there I am when I'm driving, and I saw some weird things on the highway this morning, you guys. I have to tell you, like I saw on the other side of the highway, headed eastbound, there was like a caravan of tow trucks, and it was being led by police. And I want to do a little bit more research to find out like what exactly this caravan was, but it was literally a caravan of tow trucks. They all had their lights on. They all had like flags, but they were all different flags. Like it wasn't like political or anything like that. It was just like all these weird different flags. And I was like, what is going on? This caravan was driving for like it had to be 2 miles long. It was insane. And so I'm like, I'm paying attention to the driving that I'm doing, and it's sprinkling a little bit. And there's like this caravan of tow trucks with all their lights on and everything. It was so bizarre. And then as soon as I like turned the corner, because when you're driving, I don't know if it was a funeral. Like, that's kind of what my thought was. But some of the tow trucks had like really weird, like, cars on them. So I don't know. It was it was weird. I don't know. It might have been, but I don't know. It was just like so weird, like tow trucks. So, anyways, so when I was driving through the mountains and I was kind of going around the corner, I saw the sky was like black. It was black, and I was like, I am headed into the West Valley, and I know it is supposed to storm. And holy crap, it just got sunny out. So I could see when I'm pretty good with weather. um my dad just raised me to be good with weather and like look out for things and whatnot and weather patterns. So as I'm looking in the sky, I noticed that there are really low hanging clouds that look like a ceiling, right? And it was super super black, and I was like, damn, like I am driving into a storm. And I kept seeing kind of over the highway, it was still kind of light, but there was like this low hanging ceiling of clouds, and then I could see the rain kind of like south in the distance. So my hope was that I would get back to my home base before the rain hit. But I was wrong. And then it got worse. And the rain got so bad. Now, I've driven in 41 states, right? I have seen a lot. I've driven a lot. I've I had to pull over in a storm like in Minnesota this summer, but I could not see 5 feet in front of me on the highway all of a sudden. Like it was so crazy. And then I could see everybody around me also slowing down to like 30 miles per hour on the highway. And that was the first time in my life this morning driving where I actually felt scared. And I was like, I'm gonna run into something. I literally cannot see. I cannot see anything. I cannot see the lines of the road. I cannot see anything. So I pulled over and I put on my hazards with like everybody else and their mother. I mean, it was so bad. Everybody pulled off the highway. And as I went to uh raise all my windows, because they were just down like this much, and I had pulled up Winston's window and my side windows, and as I went to pull up my driver's side window, it like banged against the top of my door frame and then went crashing down into my door, and it wouldn't come back up. And I was like, what the hell just happened? So my driver's side window broke or something. um the timing couldn't have been worse. The timing couldn't have been worse. So the one day that it rains, like torrential downpour on the highway in Arizona, my driver's side window is now broken. So, okay, so fast forward. I don't think so. The glass is not broken. So, we were able to fish some packing tape at my house. We were able to fish some packing tape into the the door and use a butter knife to essentially adhere the packing tape to the window, and so we could pull it up. So it doesn't look like the window itself, like the glass itself is broken, but either the track of the window is broken or it came off the track. So my driver's side window, I put a mesh screen on it, and there's people yelling outside. Um, my window is currently taped with packing tape up to my door. Like, it is so bad. It is so bad, you guys. Um, Luckily, I have good insurance, and insurance does cover it. So I filed an insurance claim this morning, and granted, again, it's 9:45. It's like it's not even like 10 a.m. this morning, and I I've already had to file an insurance claim, and I lost my driver's side window. So, I mean, well, I didn't lose it because it's not broken. It's just it's adhered with packing tape. So, thankfully the window's up. So, when the rain continues today, because it's supposed to be raining all day today, my window is up. So, my van is not going to get annihilated from the rain, which is the good news. And I mean, also, the other good news is the fact that, I have Geico car insurance, and I have like a completely clean record. So, um, yeah, it's covered. It's covered. So the soonest that someone is gonna come out is Tuesday. So I have my appointment set to have the auto glass place come out on Tuesday morning between like 7 a.m. and 11. So today was National Move Over Day in Arizona to raise awareness for tow trucks doing their jobs. Thank you, Marsha. That's what I saw. That's crazy. Thank you for doing the research. Oh my gosh. That makes sense. Yeah. That's what I saw. That is too cool. I mean, it was a cool thing. I'd never seen anything like it. I saw all these tow trucks just like in the carpool lane with all their lights on and everything, all these flags and stuff. I mean, it was neat. It was really cool. I was just like, what the heck is going on? I've never seen anything like this. Well, good. No, that's good. People should move over for tow trucks and other trucks doing their jobs on the highway. Absolutely. So that's neat. Thank you for doing the research. So at least that was a neat thing I got to see on the highway uh, before my window got annihilated. So yeah, over 100 tow trucks. That makes sense because, like I said, that caravan was like 2 miles long. Like, that was dope. Like, I wanted to participate. It was cool. so so yeah, now I have a taped up driver's side window. And all the while, Winston's like, he's asleep. He doesn't care. He's like, I don't care, Mom, that your window just came crashing down into your door and that it's raining and this is crazy. He's like, I'm just going to sleep. So this morning, I'm especially grateful for good car insurance and the packing tape and butter knife hack to essentially raise my glass out of the door so I could at least, tape it up and I have a window. I made sure I put like tape over my controls on my door so I don't like accidentally just like without being mindful try to raise my window up or put it down. But thankfully it should get fixed on Tuesday morning. So that's everything that I've been dealing with by 10 a.m. this morning. Just crazy. Like, what are the odds that I'd be driving in the rain and have all this, have all this rain in Arizona today, rain that I've never literally ever driven before in my life, and then I lose my driver's side window. like, what is that? Like, what is that? Like, why? What is that? So I'm on my third cup of coffee. Yeah, and it's weird because the sun is like coming out, but it's only supposed to be, like 80 degrees today. But it's beautiful. I like the it's just a little bit of humidity. It's really nice. And I have all my doors open. It's not raining right now, but there's like a cool breeze coming in. It finally feels like fall. Yay, it finally feels like fall. So it's not all bad. I mean, at least I have the mesh screen and my window taped up and insurance is coming out. But so today, and I posted a short right before I went live. I actually posted a short of like the aftermath of when I had to pull over, so you can see like the highway, like the rain on the Arizona highway. I was driving on the I-10 heading west. Um, but I'm also thankful because I mean we really need the rain. We really need the rain in the desert. It's been raining up north pretty much all summer. We've gotten so much rain, in fact, that the forest fires, haven't really been an issue anymore, which is really really nice. But yeah, I'm excited to enjoy the day in my van because the weather's going to be so nice. Yay. So what's everybody else up to? Where let me know where you're tuning in from and what you're doing. I know it's much later on the East Coast right now. I still have like yet to eat this morning. Like I haven't done anything with myself. I literally left my mom like in my pajama pants and like I threw on some deodorant and like brushed my hair, and then I left my mom's and essentially made the journey home in the rain until my driver's side window took a crap on me. So that was really fun. And in a video I'll show you like what it looks like. I mean, you can see right now I have like the mesh bug screen on, which I like to use because the mesh bug screens are really nice for when I'm, like camping in the forest, so I can keep my windows down, but the bugs won't come in. But it's literally just taped. It's taped now on all around all of the edges just to keep the glass up. Yikes. But yeah, so yeah, and Marsha, thanks again for telling me about the tow truck thing, because that was really neat. Ooh, Sabrina, that's exciting. Yeah, I've been to Pahrump. I was last time I was there. Well, it's been like a year and a half since I've been there, but I have been there. Yeah, I took out the seats in my other van, in my red van originally. Hi Hector, good morning. Um, but I didn't take my seats out in this van just because I just didn't need to. But that was something fun that I learned like in my red van. Like I was like, oh, I took the seats out, but I never used the storage, like especially like the middle seat storage, because I have stuff on top. So and I'm a minimalist, so I don't really have like enough stuff to really put um, put in the storage. So I do have um, and then I have my back seat up, and then my other back seat's folded down. So I still have some recessed space in my trunk, which is nice, and an extra the seat up for Winston, or if I need to sit there and work or whatever. So from Illinois. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm originally from Indiana, so I'm originally your next door neighbor. But and remember, Marsha, like since you're a member on my channel, you can use like your the stickers that Jordan just used. You have the special stickers you can use in the live chat if you are a member. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. I was just telling the story about the driving through a rainstorm this morning and essentially losing my driver's side window that is now taped up, and I have auto glass guy from my insurance coming out on Tuesday to get it fixed. So it's already been a crazy morning. I'm just drinking my coffee and enjoying the rain this morning. It's really beautiful out. There's a slight breeze, and oh yeah, can't check the forecast because I'm live on my phone. Just kidding. But it's pretty dark all around, so I'm assuming that we're going to be getting some more rain here soon, and which will be nice. Yeah, Marcia, get camping into the woods. That'll be fun. I'm really excited to head back out. I was gonna go back up north last week, but it was just rainy, and I didn't want to deal with the mud again. I mean, the last time I was up there a couple weeks ago, the rain was lovely, but it was just so damp, and the ground was so muddy that, Winston's paws got all muddy and my shoes and everything. So since they had more rain this last week, I just didn't want to go up there. I had a couple of new places I wanted to visit, but just with the rain, I didn't want to do it. So, and now my sister's in town. So the next couple of weeks, um, I'm really going to be just hanging out in the area because the weather's going to be a lot nicer too. So, yeah, Hector, I will be in Quartzsite. Not for another 6 weeks or so. I don't head out to Quartzsite until it really starts to cool down, because right now it's way too hot out there still. It's 90 to 95 degrees out in Quartzsite. I know people who are already there, but I can't do that sort of heat. There's just no way. So, and really, stuff doesn't really start to happen out there until the end of the year anyways. And January and February are the most active months in Quartzsite. So, oh, 50s to 70s. That's amazing. That's literally perfect weather. Like, that's how the weather is out in Quartzsite. It's nice and dry in the winter, and I'd say the average temperature is like 60 to 70 degrees, and at night it only gets down to like, 40. I mean, there have been cold nights, um, but I think the coldest I've ever experienced in Quartzsite is like 35 degrees. And even then, it's really doable in the minivan, unless it's like a really cold wind. Then it can be tough. But having the minivan, it just really stays nice and warm. And Winston and I really managed to stay warm with all of our blankets, and so yeah, February. Um, January will probably be my most active month in Quartzsite. I'll head to Schoolypalooza at the end of January. I do that every year. Really fun. So I'll definitely be doing that. And, February, I'm not sure. I'm even thinking about, um, I'm moving my home base in March, but I'm even thinking about driving out to excuse me, to Miami Beach, because my sister is also moving in March, and she's moving into a really nice, pet friendly condo area in Miami Beach, or on Miami Beach, I should say. So I want to go visit her because I haven't been out to Miami since 2020. And Winston deserves another trip to the nice white sandy beaches of Miami. So I said I wasn't going to travel a lot next year, but I'm already thinking that my plans might change. I go through this. I go up and down with my traveling, but I also want to, I'll spend some time like in Parker, probably in February. Lake Havasu. I really like to go to Lake Havasu in like February, March. That's my favorite time to go up to Lake Havasu City, because there's BLM land up there. And what's nice about Quartzsite, um, is you can go straight down to Yuma, south to Yuma, or from Quartzsite, you can head north to Parker, which is about, well, in a minivan, if you're driving the speed limit, it's like 35, um, yeah, 35 miles per hour. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, I like Florida. I like to visit Florida. I like to visit where my sister lives in Florida, because she lives in a really nice area of Miami Beach, so it's like super fancy, and she always spoils me when I go there. It's funny because my sister and I are so different. She's only 17 months older than me, but she's like super bougie and like fancy, and I'm like a super redneck hippie. So we have a lot of fun together because, like, when I was over at my mom's last night, my mom, she just gets the best of both worlds with us, right? Like, my sister's drinking her wine and she has her fancy cocktails, and I'm over here like drinking beer out of a red Solo cup. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of fun, and my sister loves Winston, so I'd like to go visit her this this year. But anyway, so going up to Parker from Quartzsite is nice because it's only 35 minutes, and then you have access to a Walmart, because there's not a Walmart or any big chain grocery stores in Quartzsite. It's a very small town. Um, and then from Parker, I like to go up to Lake Havasu because then it's only another like 75 minutes or so. So I kind of do that trek up north from Quartzsite in the spring. And that's often when I like camp with some friends, because I have friends that come from all over the country that I'm close with, and we camp together or travel together. I often don't travel with people because I like to be by myself. I like to travel with myself by myself. I don't like to rely on anybody else. But during that time of year, I often tend to, meet up with people and whatnot. So, yeah, I know stuff about Williams. I actually have some friends in Williams right now. I was going to go up to Williams last week, but it was going to rain. I didn't want to deal with it. So, Williams is actually really nice right now. It's like the weather's been like in the 60s. It's been really great. And that's only 2.5 hours from my home base. So one of my friends was up there last week or 2 weeks ago, or well, she's still up there. She arrived a couple of weeks ago, and she was posting pictures on Facebook, like wearing her jacket, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous because it's been, still hot in the desert, but it'll only be in the 80s next week in the desert, and I'm very much looking forward to that. So, yeah, there's lots of beautiful places in Arizona. I want to go back down to Tombstone as well. I love the Tombstone and Bisbee area. If you're into like history, Western history and culture, Tombstone and Bisbee, highly recommend. Like Bisbee is really kind of like an artsy town, um, and it is so much fun if you can appreciate that sort of thing. And then Tombstone is like all Western history, and I'm obsessed with it. And it's very dog friendly. And right now, well, actually, October is a great time to go down to Tombstone, especially for Halloween. It's super fun during Halloween. But now that my home base is out in the West Valley, it takes a lot longer to get there, so it's like a 4-hour drive. And crime has really risen in southern Arizona in the last couple years. So that's why I typically kind of tend to go up north, because it is a little cooler still and it is closer. So, and with these gas prices, gas is still $5 a gallon in Arizona. So I really have been limiting how how far I drive, to be honest. But yeah, Williams would be a beautiful area to buy land. I mean, anywhere in Arizona is beautiful to buy land. Um, but Williams is great. I was actually recently looking at land in well, my mom and I were both looking at land. She was looking at land more in like Payson, Arizona, and I had my eye on some land in Camp Verde and the Verde Valley. I really love it over there. They have a lot of land for sale, and it's pretty good prices. But I don't know. I still really like to travel, so I don't have any plans to like. I don't want to make the commitment to purchasing yet. 3.23 a gallon. Oh, so jealous. Mm. It's a great question, Sabrina. My favorite place to visit is South Dakota. I'm obsessed with South Dakota. I absolutely love South Dakota. Um, I'd have to say that South Dakota is my favorite state. Um, but the three places like in recent years that have topped my list are South Dakota. Like pretty much the whole state of South Dakota is gorgeous and fun and has a lot to do, and there's not a lot of people and there's not a lot of infrastructure. Like I love how like the wildlife and how unpopulated it is. I love South Dakota. So that's my number one. Um, this summer though, my favorite, the well, I've been to so many places. I loved my Cross Lake, Minnesota visit this summer. Um, I was obsessed with the Cross Lake Recreation Area campground that I stayed at. Freaking obsessed. I want to go back to that campground and I want to stay for like 10 days. I freaking loved it there. I loved Cross Lake. I loved my campsite. I loved how small the area was and how quaint it was. I loved Cross Lake, Minnesota. Um, and then Winston's sleeping. He's sleeping right now. He's tired. And also, a place that I visited this summer that I became obsessed with was Clear Lake, Iowa. Iowa is like a super underrated state, and I learned that this summer when I spent a lot more time there. So, so yeah, I loved Clear Lake, Iowa, and then I also really enjoy Arkansas. I love Arkansas. So I know those are all like super weird places, but Clear Lake, Iowa was so pristine. The McIntosh Woods State Park was freaking phenomenal. It was gorgeous. Lots of cool historic stuff to do around there. And yeah, so South Dakota, Cross Lake, Minnesota, Clear Lake, Iowa, and Arkansas probably top my list. So that was kind of a long answer to your question, Sabrina. Um, Dimple's doing van life. I love cats. Yes, I love cats. I love kitties. I love kitties. I have a kitty, Maylee, my black kitty. I love kitties. Yes, I love cats. I actually saw, so it actually kind of made me sad. In my mom's neighborhood, there are some cats that need to be fixed, and so they've been reproducing, which makes me sad because I'm like totally into like spay and neuter, right? There were all these little kittens, and I just wanted to take all the kittens home. I just wanted to take all the kittens. They were so cute and fluffy, and they were just little. Oh, I freaking love cats. I'm obsessed with cats. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually a cat person. Like, I'm a cat person. Jordan, you hush, because I wanted all the kittens, and if I want a kitten, I know where to go to get one, because there's like a little white one, there's like a little gray one, there's a little tabby one. Oh, they're all so cute. Oh, I love kittens. Yeah, I'm actually a cat person. So, believe it or not, yeah. I'm obsessed with Winston. I'm obsessed with my son. But I'm a cat person. So, hello. I've been living in my car full time for the last 5 months in Canada. How long have you been in your van? And how will you prepare for the winter? Yeah, so I've been doing van life for almost 2.5 years. So, June 2020 is when I purchased my first van. And yes, I'll save one cat for you. Yes, I'll save one kitty for you. Yes, you can have all the kitties, but I just want one kitty. Just one little kitten. They're just so cute. Ooh, I love cats. Okay, Amanda, just relax. All right. Um, yeah, so I'm actually working on a video how to stay warm in the winter. Now, granted, I'm not in Canada. I'm in Arizona. We have warm winters. Okay, so I don't want to act like I know what it's like to sleep in like 0-degree weather in a vehicle. I don't. The coldest I've ever slept in is when I was in Missouri. There was snow on the ground and it was like 25 degrees outside. That is the coldest I've slept in with Winston. But on a consistent basis, the coldest I've slept in is like 30 to 35 degrees. So it's actually, I have now really good methods, and I think it's much better to be in a car or SUV or minivan or small van, a small vehicle in the winter because it's so much easier to stay warm. And I even, I like I said, I have a video that I'm working on. I actually ordered something from Amazon yesterday for the video because it's a product that I highly recommend that I use for me and Winston. Um, and oh, you're on the West Coast. Perfect. Okay, good. Yeah, sorry for my ignorance. I'm not like super familiar with Canada, so I apologize for my ignorance when it comes to uh, the Canadian climate. But using like these sort of fleece blankets, wool and Sherpa blankets, super super warm. Um, you know, but again, I'm gonna be making a video on that because I think I kind of have it down to a science in terms of staying warm. I'm not even kidding when so yesterday I made a video about why I chose a minivan over an RV, and in the video I joked, but I was very serious when I said that like people have literally piled in my minivan in quartzite in the winter so we could all stay warm because it gets very windy in quartzite, and when it's cold and on the colder days in quartzite, that wind, that's chilly, man. That is a chilly chilly wind. So what's nice about my van is that, Winston's small, so he can fit anywhere. But I can sit here, I can have somebody like sitting in front of me, I can have somebody sitting on the seat, and I can have somebody sitting on the floor. So I have had 4 people just in the cabin of my minivan before because it was so windy, and my rig was the warmest and the coziest because it's just like a little hippie cabin. So I have the warm blankets and everything, and then with 4 people and like 2 dogs in my van, um it's nice and warm and toasty and really protected from the wind. And that's another great thing about being in like a regular car or SUV or van, is that they're already so well insulated um for the heat. So, yeah, it does help having a dog. It does help having a little cuddle buddy, whether it's a dog or a cat or, whatever. I've known someone to travel with a rabbit. Like, whatever you have, um, it definitely does help. So, I'm in my van often in the winter in Canada since I live in northern Ontario. Nothing can beat a good quality cold. Yeah, yeah, a sleeping bag, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some people use heaters, some people use little propane heaters. I'm kind of afraid to use those things in my van. Um, but I also don't feel like I really need them. If it gets cold enough in the winter, I will literally, like, if I wake up and I am freaking frozen, I will just turn on my heater for 10 minutes in my car, in my van, and make sure, it warms up really nicely, and then just fall back to sleep. And that normally does it. So, but I will do a really in-depth video. I've done a video on staying warm in the winter before, like in the past, but I'm much more experienced now. And I've learned a lot of things from other people. So I'm going to share all those tidbits in my video that's upcoming. But yeah, weighted blankets work well. I always have in the winter, I always wear a beanie on my head because if your ears are covered, so if your ears are warm and your feet are warm, that will really help regulate your body temperature. So I wear like wool or Sherpa socks. And then if you um, like I'm wearing like jogging sweatpants right now. If you like tuck them into your socks and make sure that the air like can't get to your ankles or your feet, you will stay a lot warmer. So just little tidbits like that, like stuff that I've learned. And instead of using like a regular standard pillow, I always put like a fleece blanket over my pillow because that will keep my head a lot warmer, and then your body will be a lot warmer. So people have so many different ways that they like to stay warm, but I don't use a heating blanket just because it uses so much power and I don't really have enough power to sustain one all night. But I do have a heating pad, and it's just, a standard heating pad. But I often let Winston use that um, because he's my priority and I want him to stay warm. So I'll just put it on, I won't run it like all night, but maybe like I'll run it on his bed for an hour, on my bed for an hour. Um, you can also use one of those like hot water. What are they called? Maybe one of you will probably know better than I do. It's like you fill the rubber thing with like boiling water, like hot water. I forget what is that called. But yeah, those work well too. Those work well too. So lots of different things you can do. Um, I don't run like they make those little propane heaters that you can put on top of like a little propane tank. I don't like to use those because I get scared about like the carbon monoxide. So, but yeah, the pillow thing I actually learned because I got this really fluffy teal blanket at Goodwill for $8. Oh, just a hot water bottle, that's all. Okay, I thought there was a fancy term for it. um, I got this really cozy blanket at Goodwill for $8. And one night in Quartzsite, I put that over my pillow and it just made like my shoulders and my neck and my face like so warm, and it made it much easier to sleep. So yeah, I've slept in snow before. I'm not a snow person. That's why I live in the Arizona desert. But sorry, I got some stuff I got to report here. Oh my word. What is happening? I need to get that add on to so I can keep out all that spam. But yeah, I like the chillier weather myself. I've even been in Flagstaff in like late April, Flagstaff, Arizona, and it's still snowing. Still snowing. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's nice. I don't mind getting all cozy. Yeah, I always have a beanie on my head. I always have a beanie on my head in the winter. Um, Plus, I feel like I look cute in beanies. And it keeps my crazy mane at bay, so I always wear a beanie over my ears, and absolutely wearing a cozy winter hat will help you sleep warmly. But and yeah, so we just talked about a lot there, but I will mention all that stuff in my cold weather video that I have coming up. Hi Sharon, how are you? Happy Saturday. Does anyone else have crazy plans today? Because I don't. So yeah, you gotta stay warm. Gotta keep your head warm. Keeping your head and your feet warm, again, that'll regulate your body temperature. Absolutely. Um, ooh, I hear thunder. Ooh, I'm so excited for all the rain today. If you guys are just tuning in, I essentially broke my driver's side window this morning in the big storm. So I have insurance coming out on Tuesday to fix it. So thank goodness for good insurance. Haunted hike? I want an invite. That sounds fun. Tell me about that. I want to go on a haunted hike. I'm I can't like find anybody who wants to do any like haunted stuff with me. We have some really crazy haunted things in Arizona. And especially because like the weather's so nice, it's really fun. They have like the fear farm and like all this crazy stuff. I can't find anybody to do it with me. Next Thursday, my sister and I and my mom are going to like a fall festival, like chili party thing. And they have some like haunted stuff there, but it's more like it's like family friendly, right? So even though my sister and I are like 34 and 35 years old, we love going on the haunted train ride. And it's so silly, right? It's like teenagers like dressed up in costumes, but it's so fun. It's something that we've been doing for, holy crap, I'm old, 20 years. Um, so yeah, it's all that is fun. I really enjoy doing that sort of thing. You love haunted stuff? Yeah. What I hear, people are, if you guys hear like curse words coming from outside my door, it's my crazy neighbor. He is, I swear he's on something. Anyways, what, uh, Apple Scrapple Festival? That sounds fun too. I'm so jealous of like people who live in more like fall oriented places, because since I grew up in Indiana, we had all that, right? We had like, the pumpkin patches and the apple orchards and all of that fun things. And I remember like going to the apple orchards as a kid and like, I can smell the apples now. That's so fun. I miss doing those sorts of things. They just don't exist in Arizona. But on my first cross country trip in 2020, I took that in the fall. So I got to do some really cool fall things with Winston. Like I went to a pumpkin patch in Arkansas. We went to like a fall farmers market in Virginia. Um, we sat outside in October, like late October. We sat outside in Jamestown, Virginia, and at like an Italian restaurant. And I sipped a glass of wine, and I had like a plate of lasagna, and we were just like sitting out in the historic main street of Jamestown, and like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I love fall in like other places, so yeah, in Arizona, it's just not really the same. So I like hearing about what everybody else does. Yeah, I know. Everybody here is a scaredy cat too, Sabrina. What the heck? Oh. Mm. And like my brother would go with me, but like he's gone the next couple weeks. So haunted cemeteries. Oh, that sounds fun too. That sounds really cool. Um, I'm totally into that. I'm totally into that sort of thing. I think it's really fun. Haunted hayrides. I haven't done a haunted hayride in a long time, but the last time I did one, I was like 14 years old, and this guy was like chasing me with a chainsaw even though we were like on the hayride. I was like really freaking out, so I think I was kind of traumatized, but I would absolutely go again because it's been like 20 years. Like, I'm due for a trip. I'm due for a trip. My dad raised me around like all that fun stuff, and like he really liked to do the spooky haunted stuff. And I grew up watching all of the old Halloween movies, like the original Dracula, the original Mummy, like all of the old black and white Vincent Price films and all that sort of stuff. So I just love the season. I love the spooky season. It's so much fun. I just wish it was a little bit cooler in Arizona so I could enjoy it just a little bit more. But just like, looking around like my van, at my fall decorations, and like my art, and my, I love my Hocus Pocus pillow. I love decorating for the season and really getting into all of it. It's super fun. So, but I look forward to going to the fall festival with my sister and my mom next week. That'll be really fun and special, especially because I haven't seen my sister in so long. So, but I'm really jealous of all of you guys that are doing like the Apple Festival and all the haunted hike and everything. That sounds like a freaking blast. And I would want to be invited if I lived near you. So, and we have some super scary stuff here too, like stuff that I wouldn't do. Um, where like you have to sign waivers, right? Like when you enter, like you have to sign a waiver, like that stuff. That's pushing it for me. I don't think I could do that, because on the stuff where you have to sign a waiver, like the people dressed up, they're allowed to like touch you and like grab you and stuff, and that's pushing it for me. That's pushing it. But I'm excited to go on my haunted train ride where like teenagers are dressed up in like masks and it's silly, because that's fun too. And that at that festival there is a pumpkin patch because the festival takes place at like a working farm. So there's an actual, they grow the pumpkins there, and they you can buy them and everything. But and then the owners of the farm, they're the ones that make all the food and the chili and the pies and all that. And so it's just really fun, and it's fun to support like the local farm and and do all that. So it's a fun tradition. Yeah. Hey, Carl, good morning. How are ya? Nice to see you. Yeah, Salem, Massachusetts would be really fun for the month of October. I've never been to Massachusetts, but if I went, and I don't really have a desire to go, but if I went, it would absolutely be in October. That would be fun. Yes. Yeah, just going to Salem would be a blast, but yeah, going in October, and I love Hocus Pocus. So, that makes me want to go even more. Oh man. I'm such a kid at heart. I love that sort of thing. If you guys are just tuning in, it's a beautiful day in Arizona in the desert. It's gloomy, it's rainy. We have a nice fall breeze. Um, I drove in a very torrential rainstorm this morning where I had to pull over on the highway because I couldn't freaking see, and it was really scary. I also uploaded a short of the highway after like the rain kind of dissipated and I could drive again. My driver's side window crapped out in the storm, and it either came off the track or the track broke. So I have my insurance coming out on Tuesday to get that fixed. So it's been kind of a crazy Saturday morning. But the rest of my plans today are just to do this. Just hang out and do this. What is it? I just noticed, like, looking at my camera, I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's Winston's poop bag. Oh, we've got to have the waste bags. And then, yeah, so probably watch the NASCAR race today, and hopefully some baseball playoffs tomorrow. Football. I can't really do much in terms of travel until I get my window fixed on Tuesday, so that kind of puts a damper on things. But what do you recommend for getting your dog used to this lifestyle? He's a Chihuahua. Yeah, so Sabrina, Winston's a Chihuahua as well, but he's always liked the car, and he's not really social either. He's a mama's boy. He likes to be by me, and he's not like mean or aggressive or unfriendly or anything. He just, we both like our space. So just lots of positive reinforcement. I've trained Winston over the last 10 years using positive reinforcement methods, just a lot of praise and treats and positive energy, and patience, it just patience, and keeping them safe on a leash and a harness, especially if they're not used to the lifestyle yet. Winston is off leash a lot, only when we're camping alone, because I don't want him to be at risk, since he has been attacked before, like in my neighborhood. That wasn't even when we were camping, but harness, leash, and long line. I just bought that pet fence from Facebook Marketplace for $25, so I'm going to start using that a lot more often, especially out in quartzite, just to give myself a little more peace of mind. But yeah, just lots of positive reinforcement, and repetition and training, and bonding with them in that way. When your dog trusts you and you have a good bond, it's much easier to get into this lifestyle, um, and socializing them, like, so if you could take your Chihuahua to like Lowe's and Home Depot and places like that don't smell like dogs, and just to get them out, treat your dog when they're in the cart, and like work on training with them in public places. That's really helpful. I did that with Winston when he was a puppy, when he was young. I took him out. I did a lot of stuff with him to get him used to sights and smells and sounds and people and blah, blah, blah. And so now he's perfect. Yeah, Winston's not a nervous dog. Winston's very confident, but again, that anxiety and that nervousness will go away with socialization and training. So again, taking your dog to places that don't smell like dogs and positively reinforcing them in that way will be very helpful. Carl, so I have a question. I'm not sure. Why do 99.8% of van life videos take place in the western 1/3 of the U.S.? Because the western part of the U.S. is the best place to be for van lifers. Period. The weather's better. We have public land, like Bureau of Land Management land and National Forest land. You don't get any of that east of Texas. You don't. We have so much free camping out here, free public land, and huge space, that the East Coast and east of Texas is just not the place to be for van lifers. The weather, the climate, the land, everything out on the west is a million times better. And I know, because I've been to 41 states, and as soon as you get east of Texas, it's hard to find anything to camp that's not unpaid. Nevada, just to give you an example, Nevada is 85% free public land. So why wouldn't you be in the West? Yep, so hopefully that answers your question. Cavalier Charles took the. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, some dogs take immediately to van life. Winston does too. He wants to be in the van with me at all times. He much prefers the van. He loves traveling. He loves driving. Yeah, some dogs just take it. Yeah, the East Coast is tough, and the West Coast is much more dog friendly too. So like in Arizona, you can literally take your dog to like almost anywhere that has an outdoor patio and eat with them. Like it's just we're much more advanced in terms of like camping and uh, unconventional lifestyles and dog friendliness, pet friendliness out on the West Coast. So, um, I mean, in Quartzsite, it's like, well, so in Arizona, I mean, I can literally drive. I mean, you can be in any climate and there's free camping land, free national forest, free Bureau of Land Management land. Um, and the climate here is dry. It's pretty dry in New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada. You don't get that nasty humidity. Yeah, just everything about the West is better for van life. Absolutely, move out west. Yeah. Hi, Christina. Thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you for saying hi. Yeah, and I mean, um, I prefer the West. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pahrump is tons of BLM land. Absolutely. Hi from New Jersey. Nice to meet you. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Trying to find a van since my puppy outgrew your Prius setup. Yeah. Oh, great, Christina. Yeah, Prius setups are great. Prius setups are great, but if your puppy outgrew it, then that's definitely a thing. Yeah, I know a lot of people who um, camp in Priuses. I actually even met this one guy. He had a Prius, and he bought a schoolie. Right, he bought a school bus to um, convert, and but he still had his Prius, right? So he was essentially towing his Prius behind his school bus conversion, and which I would never get a schoolie personally. That's my very personal opinion. Everybody has their own thing, but school buses, I just literally think it's the worst. Like they look cool, and like when you see what some people have done with them, like it's really neat, but I would never ever travel or live in one. It's just like it's so much maintenance. It just constantly breaking down. Oh, the thunder. Ooh, the thunder's popping. Yeah, so okay. So he went from the Prius to the schoolie, but again, still had his Prius. And he was telling me, he's like, I hate this. Like, I cannot believe I bought the school bus. Like, I bought it because I went to Schoolie Palooza, and like, I wanted to be one of the cool kids, and now I hate it, and I want to sell it, and I want to get rid of it because it's so much maintenance. It's so difficult to build out. It's so, it's like you can go so many fewer places. It's harder to drive around. And he's like, I just want to go back to my Prius. And I just want to camp and live in my Prius because it was so much easier. Um, so yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the Prius. Um, so oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Hiran. I appreciate it. I'm 6'7". Could you see me in a Prius? Yeah, Carl, at 6'7", I'm gonna say probably not on that. Yeah, definitely not. Somebody asked me how tall I am because they were worried about leg room in the minivan, and I'm 5'9", so I'm pretty tall for a woman. Um, I'm 5'9". I have zero issues. I mean, my bed is full length. And I still have, well, I have all this headroom still, way up here. So, but that's one of the things also, that's also one of the reasons why I keep my bed on the ground, is because I didn't really need that storage like underneath. And in my very first van build on my red van, I had my mattress, which is still my mattress. I've had this for 2.5 years. Highly recommend. I had it on a cot, like an Ozark Trails cot. Ooh. And so I had like stuff underneath it, but I didn't really like it because the mattress would kind of like bow in, and I just didn't need the storage underneath. So that's why I've had my bed on my homemade platform now for a year and a half. And it just works out nicely because I feel like I have so much more headroom and headspace. So You're 5 feet. Oh wow, yeah. If you're 5 feet, you could probably even sleep the other way instead of like long ways. You know, since I'm 5'9", I have to sleep, you know, from the trunk to the front. But if you're a little shorter, you can probably sleep the other way, which would be nice because that would be a big space saver. But yeah, people get creative, and even though I have my full length bed, um, I could literally continue my bed back to my trunk space and have another foot and a half. So so even at 6'7", you can fit, you know, easily in a Dodge Grand Caravan if you had your bed going all the way back from the driver's side to the trunk space. So, but okay, y'all, with that being said, I need to eat. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go do that. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Have fun doing all of your fun things, your fall things. I'm really, really jealous. Um, but yeah, before it starts downpouring, which it looks like it's gonna do soon, I'm gonna close up the van and eat something. So thank you guys. I love you so much. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.